Hi, kindergartners. I have a new story for you, and I have Trixie here with me because the story is about pigs. It's actually about a brother and sister pig who are very naughty when their mom goes away and their babysitter comes. This is called Geraldine and Mrs. Duffy, and it's written by Holly Keller. Holly Keller is actually the author and the illustrator. So she wrote the words and she also did the pictures. Geraldine and Mrs. Duffy. And here's the title page. "We don't want a new babysitter to stay with us," Geraldine said when Mama went to let Mrs. Duffy in. "Why not?" Mama asked. "Because we don't know her," Willie said. "And besides, I'm not a baby." Mama gave Mrs. Duffy some instructions, then she kissed Geraldine and Willie goodbye. "Behave, you two." The minute Mama was out the door, Willie started to cry. Geraldine made a face. "Willie is a baby," she told Mrs. Duffy, and she marched off to her room. My," said Mrs. Duffy, and she tried to pick Willie up. Willie grabbed the table and wouldn't let go. "Would you like a peppermint candy, Willie?" Mrs. Duffy asked. "I have some in my pocket." "No," Willie cried, and he ran into the coat closet. He slammed the door shut behind him. Geraldine came back. "Can I have a peppermint?" she asked. "Pink or green?" asked Mrs. Duffy. "Pink," said Geraldine, and she popped it into her mouth. "I want green," Willie shouted from inside the closet. And he tried to open the door. "Help!" he yelled. "I'm stuck." "No, you aren't," said Geraldine, and she turned the doorknob. The door opened and Willie came flying out. My, said Mrs. Duffy again, and she gave Willie his candy. Then she checked her watch and said it was time for a bath. "No," Willie said. "I'm not dirty. Look." "I can get Willie into the tub," said Geraldine. "No, you can't," said Willie, and he threw himself into the waste paper basket. And I have a naughty little friend who's trying to say hello. Murphy. "Okay," Geraldine whispered to Willie, "then I'll play with Jerome myself." "What do you mean?" asked Willie. "I'm not telling," said Geraldine, and she disappeared. "I'm ready for my bath," Willie said. He pulled himself out of the basket. Good, said Mrs. Duffy, and she patted Willie on the head. "When you're all clean, we'll have some milk and cookies." Willie went to see what Geraldine was doing with Jerome. "Shh," said Geraldine. "Let's not tell Mrs. Duffy yet." When there was a little water in the tub, Geraldine turned off the faucet. "That's not enough water, Geraldine," said Mrs. Duffy. "We like it that way, don't we, Willie?" Geraldine said. "We like it that way," said Willie. Willie echoed. Mrs. Duffy went to get their pajamas, and Geraldine put Jerome into the tub. Then she and Willie climbed in too. Well, said Mrs. Duffy. "How nice." Willie tried not to laugh. "Oh, dear," Mrs. Duffy gasped when she finally noticed Jerome paddling around in the water. "Take him out this minute. Now." Geraldine grabbed Jerome and put him on the bathroom floor. "Not there!" screeched Mrs. Duffy, and Jerome zipped out the door. Geraldine climbed out of the tub and ran after him. Willie ran after Geraldine. "Oh no, they don't have any clothes on." Mrs. Duffy ran too. But Jerome was gone. Geraldine looked under the chairs. Willie looked behind the curtains. Mrs. Duffy looked in the closets. Nobody found him. "Do you see Jerome?" "I see him. He's right there. He's hiding." I was only trying to be helpful, said Geraldine. What if we never find him? Willie cried. Oh, no, 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 groaned Mrs. Duffy, and she put an ice pack on her head. Then, all of a sudden, wait, let's go back. Do you see where he is? Jerome is hiding. Then all of a sudden, Geraldine saw Jerome. There he is, shouted Geraldine. There he is, shouted Willie. Where, demanded Mrs. Duffy. Geraldine and Willie pointed. Don't move, said Mrs. Duffy, and she climbed up onto the table. She edged carefully toward the bookcase. The table started to wobble, and the vase of flowers shook. Look out, she roared suddenly, and she lunged for Jerome. And there's Jerome right there. Yay, shouted Geraldine. Yay, shouted Willie. Oh, said Mrs. Duffy, and Geraldine put Jerome back into his tank. Mrs. Duffy started to laugh. Do you think you two are ready for bed now? She asked. Milk and cookies first, said Geraldine. And Willie, too. Right, said Mrs. Duffy. Milk and cookies first. You're a nice babysitter, said Geraldine, when Mrs. Duffy tucked them into bed. Will you come again soon? Willie asked. Mrs. Duffy kissed them good night. Yes, she said. And when Mama came home at 10 o'clock, everyone was fast asleep. Even Mrs. Duffy. The end. That was a good story, and that is not how you behave when you have a babysitter. So that was it. Bye-bye. We'll see you later.